Hey guys, the Dating God here. Welcome to my new channel. We're going to talk about 5 ways to make your dating life much better. And I haven't seen a lot of YouTube videos on these exact topics or laid out in this exact way. We do things a little bit differently on this channel. We sugarcoat nothing, and I'm going to give you the information straight away. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Number 1 on how to make your dating life better, and a very overlooked area of dating is location. The location where you live, guys, very overlooked. Where you live is a huge factor in the quality of your dating life, guys. If you live in one of those small areas, a small town, or even a smaller city that you've been in your whole life, that could be the exact reason why you are struggling in your dating life. It is because it is a much smaller pool of people, men and women, a much smaller pool, a smaller mindset than a bigger city or a bigger area. You can struggle in smaller areas for months or years and then move to a big city and have success within weeks or even days of being in a new area when you put yourself out there and make some changes and live in a new area. When you live in a new area, you always have, if you actually dive in and you finally move somewhere, if you're ready for a change, which I highly, highly recommend, when you move to a new area, you can always say, as an example, hey, I just moved here, and that's a conversation starter that leads to more conversation, etc. You can meet many more people in a larger area, so keep that in mind. If you've been living in an area where most of your friends and a lot of the dating around you revolves around high school relationships or friends of friends through high school, and it always ties back to high school, that is a red flag. You're living in a small area. When you go out, if you go out to restaurants, to bars, out to events, and you see a lot of the same people over and over and over at the same venues, that is a massive red flag that you've been living in the wrong area for too long. It is too small of a pool, and the area is much smaller. Smaller towns and smaller areas are also largely associated with settling down and having kids at a younger age. Okay, so it's just a different mindset than a bigger city or a bigger area. I would recommend making a change. It's not as big of a deal as you would think, especially now in 2022. You are much more closely connected to people through social media, through video, through picture, through FaceTime, etc. Okay, a lot of people in these smaller towns, women on Facebook, continually say, there's no good men left. There's no good men left. Couldn't be further from the truth. Either they're a low value woman and they think they're a high value woman, or they're living in an area that's just way too small, and it's just really, to be honest, it's just a washed up area. So consider relocating, expand out on a new adventure, move to a larger area. If you're not willing to relocate and you've been trying to date for months or years in your area and you haven't had good success, not to be rude, but then dating isn't that high up on your priority list, and you're willing to keep trying the same things over and over and over and getting the same results over and over that you've been getting over the last years, okay? So consider moving. Let's move on to the next area to make your dating life better, and that is an area of mystery. Okay, you want to have some level of mystery in your relationship, especially when it's newer. The newer the relationship, the more the mystery. Okay, it is necessary. It's not just a typical reverse psychology rant or that you're playing games. It's really the idea of natural independence and suspense. It's like if you knew the end of a movie or a novel, would you be as intrigued? No, probably not, okay? So keep some level of mystery. You don't need to text with somebody all the time. You don't need to always be there, always be available. That part is kind of reverse psychology, but you need to understand that attraction grows in space, always. Very important. Attraction grows in space, so keep a little bit of distance from someone new. Don't throw yourself out there completely, and always give off that vibe when something's new that you're willing to walk away, okay? That's very important. Keep some level of mystery. Don't always tell them what you're doing every second of every day. Focus on yourself, continue to focus on yourself, and don't just dive right into something. Be cautious, okay? When you are away from someone and you're not messaging with them all the time, you might think in your head, well, they might be forgetting about me or etc. No, actually the opposite is true. They are growing more attracted to you because attraction grows in space. Let's move on to the next topic. The next topic here is to fight fire with fire and realize that relationships can end at any point in time, and you have to know that. If you know that up front at the start of a new relationship, then you'll be less likely to be hurt and you'll be less likely to be needy and super attached to this new person, okay? And fight fire with fire. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when a new person you're talking to starts to pull away, or you're feeling them pull away, which happens typically. It can happen a month or two into something new. It can happen 3-4 months into something new, 7 months. But typically there comes a time when you start to feel them kind of pull away. In a way, this is almost like a test, especially from a woman. And she might feel a little smothered or that it moved too fast, etc. When they start to pull away, fight fire with fire, and you pull away as well. Go focus on yourself, focus on your hobbies, do what you need to do, worry about yourself, and pull back as much as they pull back so they're not messaging you as much, or they don't sound as enthused to talk to you. Well, then don't message back for 7-8 hours and give them a one-word answer that says cool or nice or okay, because people do this, okay? People do this. They feel like, okay, now I have this person. Do I really want them? And they start to pull back. And it's just like natural human psychology. And it's just like very normal. So look out for that. And when that happens, fight fire with fire. Next setting, next topic, we're going to dive a little more into be willing to walk away and know your value, okay? Know your value in this world. Always continue to improve yourself, but know your value and know all the positives that you bring to a relationship, all the positives about you, whether it is being funny, charismatic, your unique hobbies, the way you make them laugh, the way you make them feel, the way that you attracted them, so of course you can attract other people, other women, other men. Of course you can attract others. Don't forget that. Don't lose sight of that, and remember that. So know your value. Don't put them on a pedestal too high, and keep yourself on a pedestal always. Know your value. Know you're confident. Know that you're confident. Know your own value and self-esteem, and stick with that. Do not waver. Be willing to walk away, and know that in a relationship, it keeps you in a more powerful state and keeps you in control of a potential budding relationship, okay? And the final topic that we're gonna cover here is stay working to become the best version of yourself. Always, always work harder. Always work harder in the gym. Work harder. If you're questioning if you're working hard enough, my answer to you is you're not. Work out more often. Work out more, work out harder. Work to become more well-rounded on your hobbies. Revisit old hobbies. Upgrade your image. Get some new clothing. Get a new haircut. Do things that make you feel good, but always be working on yourself physically, mentally, and your wealth. Continue. Be obsessed with financial freedom. Be obsessed with making more money. Be obsessed with getting in better shape. Be obsessed with reading and learning more and more and more about psychology and how the world works. Continue to surround yourself with this type of mindset and people who have this mindset. Continue to work on yourself. Always grow to become the strongest version of yourself. When you become the strongest version of yourself, it becomes more obvious to the opposite sex of how valuable you are. You become a high value man or woman, and the desire for you goes up much higher, and dating gets much, much easier. So keep that in mind. So that's it for this video. 5 quick topics on how to have a better dating life and raise yourself in the dating marketplace, raise your value, and have a more successful and fulfilling dating life. That's it for this video. Please subscribe if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form. Please subscribe to my new channel. It's just starting to take off here. Click the like button below and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. My contact information's below. I also have an ebook on Amazon that covers all this information way more in depth. You can read it again, read it back, read the sentences over and over, and it hits a little different when you can read the entire book. It's only about, the book's only about 20 pages, takes about a half an hour to read. It will change your mindset completely. A lot of different concepts. We will see you guys in the next video.